Hey, Screaming Geek Media here. I'm Jerry the Geek. Today we have Rambo: Last Blood, which we'll talk about the movie, the 4K release. We'll talk about the video quality, show some screenshots, and go into the audio, packaging, bonus. If you like physical media content, movies, home theater, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, please check out my other videos on my channel and like and subscribe, turn your bell notifications on. So let's talk about Rambo: Last Blood. This came out in 2019, 11 years after the previous Rambo, and 37 years after First Blood. Wow, that's a hell of a time difference between first and last. If it is the last, who knows? It has Sylvester Stallone, Paz Vega, Sergio Perez Manchetta. I probably butchered that name. It was directed by Adam Grunberg, and score was done again by Brian Tyler, who did the last one. Now about the movie, I liked how the previous Rambo ended. Kind of the franchise was over. He was going home, back to where he grew up. So there wasn't a need for another one, but they made this one anyways. I loved it. My wife and I actually saw this at the theater, and I loved the movie from beginning to end. Even though it wasn't needed, it was enjoyable. It had a really good story. We still don't know much about him. He's trying to come to terms with who he is and trying to live a life. He's back on his family's ranch, and they're continuing that mystique about him where they don't let you know what he's about, his past. He's living with two women, an older lady and a young girl. And the older lady, he never comes out and says who she is, how she's related. And the girl calls him Uncle John, but they never technically say she's a niece. They talk about her father and whatnot, but they never come out and say it's blood related. It's always possible a lot of times when people take in kids, they might go ahead and call them uncle, even though they're not related. They're taken care of. But so we never learn that. They never come right out and say they're blood related. But anyway, she wants to meet her father, who is in Mexico. Rambo and the other lady, they don't want her to, they know what her father is like. They tell her no way that she needs to go meeting her father. But she does anyways. And meeting him, it all falls apart. And then she gets abducted. And so that's when Rambo goes in action. He goes to Mexico, and all hell breaks loose. And he comes home, and he knows they're going to come after him. So he's got this ranch. He's got all these tunnels built underground. So the kills in this are insane. The movie itself is not as intense as the previous movie, but the kills in this are pretty crazy. Just watching him, he's going through setting all the traps up. And also when the guys come in and they start dying one by one. Oh, that's freaking crazy. When we watched it at the theater, we're like, oh shit. Oh my god. So the scenes are pretty brutal. Didn't get a lot of love from the fans out there. I loved it. I'll back it up with the previous one. Both the last two Rambo movies I really loved. I'll put them up with the original. Good stories, a good action. Now for the 4K release, came from Lionsgate in 2019. The movie itself was filmed digitally and had a 4K digital intermediate, HDR10, and Dolby Vision. The differences between the Blu-ray and the 4K are very subtle. Being new movies, the Blu-ray was very high quality as its own. So you probably could get away with just buying the Blu-ray. So you'll see some subtle differences from the screenshots here from the Blu-ray and 4K. And we'll talk about the audio afterwards. And for audio, Lionsgate gave us a Dolby Atmos and Dolby True HD 7.1. Very intense soundtrack, a lot of deep bass. The surrounds are really used. And along with all the explosions, you can hear the subtle sounds of when he's drawing a crossbow back. So very, very impressive soundtrack. For packaging, pretty simple case. The Blu-ray and 4K, same artwork on both of them, nothing special. Came with the digital as well. Can't remember if it came with a slipcase or not. For bonus features, not a lot on this release. We've got Drawing Last Blood. It's a multi-part production diary. From First Note to Last Blood, Music for the Massacres, and a theatrical trailer. So another good solid release from Lionsgate, and a good ending to the Rambo franchise. Or is it? Will we see Rambo come back in a wheelchair? You can actually pick us up on Amazon for $10.78 currently. So definitely a good one to add to your collection if you like Rambo. And if you don't have any of them, definitely look into picking them up. I mean, with the prices, you can get all of them. And if you're a big collector, you know, they've got the Steelbook set you can find. So that pretty much does it for Rambo Last Blood 4K review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my other videos on my channel. And like and subscribe. Turn your bell notifications on. Geek out.